Well, this is a huge issue. Discretionary effort is essential now to running any successful business. And what we mean by discretionary effort is individuals who are prepared to flex, step in for their colleagues, maybe work over a weekend outside hours. And in order for an organisation to be agile, we're almost relying on people to do that. I think also people look at discretionary effort as being discretionary employee engagement as being a bit of a soft issue. It's not. The Department of Business Innovation and Skills recently published some research that showed the real causal hard link between employee engagement and customer satisfaction, employee absenteeism, profitability. So there's some really hard measures we can put around this. But the key question is, well, how do leaders nurture employee engagement? I think we could go back to some of those sort of 4 traits again, and those are key to it. And you know, as we said, we highlighted one of those as being employee engagement as being key area to focus on. But I think I would add 2 extra points. One is leaders that engage people well typically are trusted. And at Forum we're very interested now in this whole notion of trust and how leaders build up trust in themselves and in the organisation. So they're very authentic in the way in which they communicate. They communicate very clearly, very consistently. And the second area I would highlight, and this is by no means a limit to the list of things, is around climate. Great leaders create a positive working environment or climate. And what we mean by climate is, to the individual, it's, well, what does it look like to work here today? As opposed to culture, which is a longer, bigger, more kind of corporate sense of the organisation. So leaders are great at building trust through communication and creating that positive day-to-day operational climate. Again, I think this comes back to the context that leaders are operating in. What we're interested in at the moment is the impact of technology, and I think more specifically social media, in the way that leaders lead. I think we'll always get that consistent issue where how do leaders harness technology to help them drive their business strategy? So how do we make things better, market them better, and what kind of competitive advantage can we get through that? But from our perspective, I think what's interesting is the way in which they use social media to understand the social and political dynamics within their business. How can they use social media to communicate in a really compelling way? How can they also understand the way in which social media works within their organisation and mitigate some of the calamitous issues and risks that can be caused through bad use of social media? So I think we're interested to see how that feeds into those leadership traits I talked about earlier on, and how can you use that to more effectively manage productivity and profitability and engagement within your workforce.